Hello, my name is Alexis Garcia, and I'm an occupational therapy student at Toro University, Nevada. There has been a growing amount of attention towards occupational justice issues. However, there has been limited research conducted on the everyday occupations of those marginalized by their sexual orientation and gender identity. Occupations can be used to project, convey, and affirm identity. As a result of living in a gender-normative society, transgender individuals frequently face violence, social exclusion, unemployment and underemployment, loss of relationships, and occupational deprivation. In 2012, Beagan and colleagues took a phenomenological approach to explore the impact that being transgender has on everyday occupations. The title of this study is "This is the biggest thing you'll ever do in your life: exploring the occupations of transgendered people." The researchers wanted to understand how transgender individuals not only used occupation to convey and establish identities, but also how their occupations were shaped by gender identity. For this qualitative study, researchers utilized a subsample from a larger descriptive study of the health and well-being of LGBTQ women. Researchers utilized snowball sampling to recruit 40 women from 2 Canadian cities to conduct face-to-face interviews lasting at least 90 minutes in length. Among those 40 women included a total of 5 participants who identified as transgender. The participants' ages ranged from 27 to 62 years. Working with those 5 transcripts, each researcher from the current study independently performed a secondary occupational analysis, coding, and subcoding. After this was completed, the researchers came together to discuss and reach an agreement on the code list that best represented the occupational issues contained in the interviews. Coded segments of the transcripts were grouped together by theme, and the authors read and analyzed the data in each broad theme multiple times to refine and check for contradictory instances in the data. 3 themes emerged from the 5 interviews, including living with gender dysphoria, occupations of transitioning, and living transgendered. As a result of their transgender identity, the participants expressed experiencing occupational deprivation for extended periods of time and feelings of being unable to engage in their occupations of their gender identity. In addition, several participants mentioned how they do participate in their occupations, such as cross-dressing, but they do so in secrecy. The secrecy that these participants felt they must exercise speaks in large towards the marginalization within this community. In addition, during the transitioning process, seeking information and engaging in the healthcare system became a huge time-consuming occupation. Once they began transitioning, participants expressed how they utilize their occupations to convey their gender identity, including taking hormones to initiate physical transformations, dressing and grooming to convey an unquestionable gender presentation, and vocal training so their voices would not disrupt their gender presentation. It was clear the ways in which these individuals experienced occupational injustice, specifically deprivation and marginalization. The biggest limitation of this study was that the original study was not explicitly an occupational analysis, as it was geared towards the health and well-being, resulting in the data being limited on leisure and self-care occupations. In addition, the participants included in the study were trans women, so it was not entirely representative of the entire transgender community. Future research should explore how trans women, trans men, and non-binary individuals perform gender identity through occupation. Transgender individuals are becoming more empowered to access and utilize the healthcare system, and it is important that occupational therapists are equipped to meet their complex needs. As occupational therapists, addressing the occupations of transgender individuals requires the same attention as any other individual that receives these services. Research is scarce when it comes to the role that occupational therapists can play while treating the transgender community. However, it is within the scope of practice to tend to their occupational needs. Gender identity influences occupational choices, contexts, and social interactions, and occupational therapists can make significant contributions to ensure that trans individuals live successfully in their gender identity. Occupational therapists have the ability to use their skill set to foster an inclusive environment and teach transgender individuals how to safely engage in their meaningful occupations to facilitate health and physical and mental well-being.